Here are 5 reasons INTJs lead exceptionally difficult lives. Number 1. They find it hard to communicate their feelings. Because of their analytical and rational disposition, INTJs may find it challenging to communicate their feelings. Their preference for logic over emotion can cause them to repress or minimize their own emotions. In personal relationships, where emotional expression is frequently crucial for fostering intimacy and trust, this can be especially difficult. ENTJs may find it difficult to show affection or vulnerability, which can cause miscommunication or a feeling of emotional detachment. This challenge may arise, in part, from INTJs' tendency toward order and control, and their perception of emotions as erratic and irrational. Additionally, they might feel uneasy showing their true feelings because of the vulnerability that accompanies it, fearing that it will make them seem weak or uncontrollable. To overcome this difficulty, INTJs could profit from enhancing their emotional intelligence and improving their ability to recognize and communicate their own feelings. This can entail engaging in mindfulness exercises, going to therapy or counseling, or just raising awareness of one's own feelings. An alternative strategy is to express their feelings in a more structured manner, like through written correspondence or pre-arranged conversations. As a result, INTJs may feel more in control of how they express their emotions and may be less likely to misinterpret others or lose their cool. In the end, INTJs may find it difficult to express their emotions, but they can learn how to communicate their emotions more effectively. Number 2. They struggle with social situations. INTJs naturally prefer solitary activities and analytical thought processes, which can make social interactions difficult for them. It can be challenging to establish connections in informal social settings because they frequently value meaningful, in-depth conversations over shallow banter. This can be especially difficult in professional or academic settings where networking and social skills are frequently critical to success. Office politics and group projects can be difficult for INTJs who would rather work alone than in teams. INTJs may have trouble expressing their feelings or emotionally connecting with others in interpersonal relationships. They might come across as reticent or aloof, which can make it difficult for them to build strong relationships. Even if they have lots of friends and coworkers, this can cause them to feel alone or isolated. Seeking out social settings that fit with their values and interests is one strategy to overcome this obstacle. People who are interested in deep conversations and intellectual pursuits, or who share their passions, may be easier to connect with for INTJs. Focusing on improving their social skills via practice and reflection is an additional strategy. This can involve finding opportunities to work with people in a low-stakes setting, asking open-ended questions, and developing active listening skills. In the end, even though INTJs may find it difficult to interact with others, it is still possible for them to build meaningful connections and relationships. INTJs can succeed in both personal and professional contexts by concentrating on their interests and strengths and making deliberate social interactions. Number 3. They have a hard time with people in power. When it comes to rules or authority figures, INTJs may find them unreasonable or ineffective. They frequently have strong ideas about the best course of action in a given situation and have a tendency to think independently. They may find it difficult to cooperate in a hierarchical setting or to follow instructions as a result. This difficulty can be especially evident in professional or educational settings where success frequently depends on adhering to regulations and obeying superiors. When INTJs perceive that rigid procedures, red tape, or bureaucracy are impeding their progress, they may become frustrated. This challenge could arise in part from INTJs' strong emphasis on productivity and outcomes. They might believe that adhering to regulations or operating in a hierarchical structure slows them down or keeps them from accomplishing their objectives. Authority figures, who they believe to be less capable or knowledgeable than themselves, may also irritate them. Finding methods to work within current structures while still pursuing their own goals and objectives may help INTJs overcome this difficulty. This can entail coming up with original solutions to issues, thinking beyond the box, and forming coalitions with people who share similar values. Finding work or educational settings that are more in line with their priorities and values is another strategy. For instance, INTJs might discover that they have more freedom and control over their work if they work for startups or pursue a career in research or consulting. In the end, even though INTJs may find it difficult to deal with authority, they are capable of handling these circumstances well. INTJs can succeed while adhering to their own values by using their analytical and strategic thinking abilities, looking for alternate solutions, and forming relationships with like-minded people. If you like our content, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Number 4, macroextayer. They tend to think too much. Because of their analytical and strategic thinking style, INTJs are prone to overthinking things. They frequently engage in intense introspection and reflection, continuously assessing and analyzing their own ideas and deeds. Although in many cases this can be an asset, it can also result in excessive brooding and paralysis by analysis. This difficulty can be especially noticeable when it comes to decision-making, as INTJs may find it difficult to decide or act without thoroughly considering all of the information at their disposal and the possible results. Additionally, they might be prone to self-reflection or ruminating over past choices, which can cause anxiety and impasse. The fact that competence and effectiveness are highly valued by INTJs could be one factor contributing to this challenge. They might believe that making a mistake or acting without fully weighing the pros and cons is an indication of weakness or ineptitude. To overcome this difficulty, INTJs could find it helpful to establish deadlines or time constraints for making decisions. They might also gain from asking others for their opinions and advice, as this can help them strike a balance between their own critical thinking and outside input and intuition. Developing self-awareness and mindfulness is another strategy that can assist INTJs in identifying times when they are overanalyzing and refocusing their attention on more beneficial pursuits. This can be journaling, meditation, or just setting aside some time each day to think about their own thought processes. In the end, INTJs may struggle with overanalyzing, but they can learn to approach decision-making and problem-solving in a more balanced manner. The traps of excessive rumination and analysis paralysis can be avoided by INTJs by practicing mindfulness, seeking out external feedback, and setting clear priorities. Number 5. They feel misinterpreted a lot. INTJs' distinct viewpoint on the world can lead them to frequently feel misunderstood. Instead of concentrating on the feelings and interpersonal dynamics of the situation, they often approach situations with logic and strategy, concentrating on long-term goals and outcomes. In particular, if others do not share their approach or values, this can cause them to feel alone or alienated from those around them. Moreover, introversion may be a tendency for INTJs, who would rather be by themselves or in small groups than at big social events. For INTJs, this can be a source of strength and productivity, but it can also make it difficult for them to feel understood by others or to form deeper connections with others. For INTJs, feeling misunderstood can be especially difficult at work, where they might be perceived as distant or unapproachable. They might find it difficult to cooperate or share their ideas successfully with others, especially if people in their immediate vicinity do